Hello everyone, I am Bets Golden. Thank you so much for joining me today. Alright, you know the latest craze. It's all about the blending tools lately, it seems. We have our traditional ones that we probably all have, which is just the sponge with this nice Velcro. We got these through Tim Holtz because of the Distress ink is how I got a hold of them. Then we have these beautiful stencil brushes. These are by Ken Oliver, and it's made for stenciling and whatnot, and blending. And then we have these new things on the market, which really, they are originally makeup brushes. Mine are actually the makeup brushes that you can get on Amazon. They're called, but the ones that are in the crafting industry are called the life-changing brushes or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so these are all the rage right now. And I did go ahead and pick up, because there's a lot of speculation and concern, and people are really really passionate about their views on these, because the ones that Picket Fences sell are, I don't know, what, 50 to 60 bucks for a set of 12 of them, and the ones on Amazon are $8 or $12 or whatever. And they're like, well, the ones on Amazon are just as good. But I have to tell you, I have played with both. And the ones by Picket Fences, the bristles are a little bit different. They're a little bit poofier. So, you know, I see a difference in them. They were made for crafters. When I went into the booth, they even said, hey, look, these, you know, we know that there's makeup brushes out there. These are made of different bristles. These wouldn't be good for your face. Okay, so they're good for inks and whatnot. So I actually found this makeup brush at Walgreens. It was like $12, and I picked it up. And I can tell a difference in it. So if I can tell a difference between two makeup brushes, and yeah, the price point on it is different, I'm positive that the ones that Picket Fence have out are different as well. But for the sake of this, I'm going to use the makeup brushes that you can get on Amazon, because that's what a lot of y'all are going to be wanting to get, and I can appreciate that. They work, you know. And this one, I just wanted to show you the difference. This is about that size. If you take a look, this one is definitely poofier, okay? But the thing is this is not any cheaper than the Picket Fences one. So everybody that's running around saying that they're too much, not really. Yeah, the ones on Amazon are cheap, and I'm sure they're cheaper for a reason, but the ones I see at the makeup store are pretty freaking expensive. If I would have got the whole set of this, it would have cost me 150 bucks, which is 3 times as much as the brushes you can get with Picket Fences. So I don't know, you got to make the decision on your own, but for the sake of this little video that I'm doing today, we're going to talk about blending tools, and we're going to just break it down. We're going to have a showdown between our blending sponges, our blending brushes, and our blending brushes. And let's just see if there is a difference. The ink that I'm using for this today, because I can get an exact amount of what I need, is going to be the Color Box 2s. 2 Stop and Pansy are going to be my choice here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I can really control how much of this gets on each of these tools, and I want it to be equal. So I'm going to be using the 3 colors, and I'm going to be using this stencil that I don't even know who it's by. It is so old in my stash, but I thought it would be nice to be able to see kind of the blending brushes work in not so detail and also detail. So we're going to put together 3 different projects with this, and let's just see what we come up with. Let's first start off with our regular blending sponges. Let's set this off to the side and do these first. And I am just going to be working in my little test journal. Sometimes ends up being something more. And the first thing I want to do is I just want to kind of create a background with these. So I'm going to do 1 dollop up off of each color, starting off with 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and put down Stop. I really should have shaken these first. My bad. And then we're going to go ahead and put down Pansy. And from here, I am going to just take, and I am designating one of these sponges for each color. And I'm just going to pick up my 2, and I'm just going to start to blend in and create a background, okay? Just the typical background that you do whenever you use these brushes, all right? And I've used up all of that one. So we're going to move on to the Stop Red. And I'm going to work off of the page. And, you know, I'm noticing you can see the creases in this. I'm not going to say it's a great blend with this type of ink. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm sure you guys are noticing that as well. Then we're going to pick up with the Pansy. And I'm going to start off at the bottom and work my way up. Again, you know, you're able to see some of that color in there. The marks, it's not an effortless blend here, okay? Definitely not. I'm going to throw on some more tutu on this. I'm doing a little bit more on this, so I really want you to pay attention to how much ink I'm having to use to make these individual tools work properly, okay? So I'm going to go off of the page with that. I'm going to go over like so. And I'm just going kind of over all of it, trying to get a nice background blend in. But as you can see, that red and that purple really sticking out because of this tool. All right. Didn't know that was going to be the case, but I guess it is. All right. So from here, I want to throw on my butterfly. So I'm just going to use this first. And again, I'm going to start off with Stop. I'm going to use about that much. And I'm going to just really kind of dab it around on my tool. That might be part of my problem, not gonna lie. And then we're just going to blend into, oop, and you know what, look at that. My butterfly is going off, and I don't have it taped down because it's so big, my fault. So, you know, blending it in like this actually works pretty well, okay? Works nice on stencils so far. Okay, now that's the first layer. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use some Pansy. And we're going to do the detail, okay? So I'm going to do the detail with this blending brush, or not the brush, it's the tool. Very well could be the reason why I was not having very good luck was because I was not really blending it into my tool. Or this is going to be interesting trying to get into the detail on this. Let's see if it'll let me do it. How far well it pushes that color in. All right. So yeah, I would say that it got the job done, okay? Do you see that? Okay, so this was with these blending sponges, the ones that we all started off with probably in our crafting endeavors. Now let's go ahead and move on to the stencil brushes, the Ken Oliver ones. These blending stencil type big brushes. And flipping it over. And again, I'm going to start off with, I'm sorry you guys, I'm left-handed, so I gotta work down. All right, so I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to put the pink one up there, a bigger dollop that time. We're going to do Stop up here as well. And then we're going to do some Pansy, which is the purple. And I am kind of respecting my color families with this, okay? I know I can't mix purple with anything but red and blue. So you don't see any green, yellow, and I'm keeping my warm colors together. I'm going to start off with a bigger brush on this, and I've never used this before, so this is going to be a experiment for me. And I'm just going to kind of, I guess this is how you do it. I don't really know. And it's supposed to create a subtle type background. And when you want to wash it, I guess you go ahead and just use some soap and water. But yeah, that's definitely see the brush strokes in that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and actually since this pretty much is wiped clean off of my brush, I mean, I'm literally getting very little off of it. I'm going to go ahead and work into that stop red. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to get a good coverage all around. And oh, look at that. So if I go into my side, I get a little bit of a different effect. Now, you guys, I am a novice. I haven't even looked at a video on how to use this brush. So I may be doing this all freaking wrong. But that's good for you to know, because you want to be able to pick up a product and be confident in you know, using it right away. All right. So there we go. Now I'm going to put on my purple. And then we will move on to our butterfly. All right. Yeah, I don't like going straight in like that, because I get that, like, it gets all, it's just too intense. Like, it doesn't create that soft effect. And so maybe you should go back and forth like this. Is that what you're supposed to do? Maybe. All right, so I'm actually going to take and just throw some water on this and just see if maybe that'll help blend it out a little bit. And that's more to do with the ink than anything else. So maybe you're supposed to go back and forth. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Okay, let's try this on a stencil. This was supposed to create beautiful soft backgrounds. It did create a background. And so let's try it on the stencil, because this is supposed to be for a stencil, and let's just see how that does on this. I'm going to go ahead and wipe up this ink so I can put some more out. And again, I'm trying to use the same amount of ink with each tool so that you can see just how much it needs. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and put down this one, and I'm going to do this with the, I'm going to go this way this time, I think. I'm going to use stop on this, and I'm going to use the next size down on this. The next size down, which is going to be this one right here. All right. And I'm just going to pick up that color and start to swipe it on through. And it's supposed to be good for detail stencils as well as creating backgrounds. So let's see here. I would think a brush would do better on a stencil than a sponge would. I would think the sponge would, the stencil would tear it up, you know? All right, so let's see how that one worked out. That's very subtle, pretty, subtle, not as intense, okay? So now let's throw on the details of our butterfly, which is going to be this one. Again, I'm going to use my purple, and I'm going to go for even a smaller brush on this, my second smaller brush on this one, which is this. I couldn't go down on my sponge side because that only comes in one size. All right, let me pick that up, and let's start to work this into our stencil. You guys, if you want to get this, you probably should go watch Ken Oliver's videos on how to use this, because I really don't think I'm probably using it right. But I do love how it gets right down, like this skinny one. Ooh, that's nice. It gets right down into the, like, gets right down in there. That's wonderful. And I'm not having to pick up as much ink on this stencil as I did on the other ones, I don't feel. Maybe I spoke too soon. But I feel like the coverage on this, and really, you know what? As I'm working with it, less is more. Yeah, less is more. Definitely. Yep, the less I use, I feel like the less you could see those straight, like it looks more polished. It looks, you can't see, there's not blotches of color. Oh, okay. Okay, yes. So less is more when using Ken Oliver, okay? Keep that in mind, all right? Now let's go on to the blending brushes, okay? And then we'll go back and look at all 3 of these projects again. So for this, I'm going to be using, once again, setting those off. I'm going to use the 3 on this one, and then this one. All right. So again, I want to create that background. I'm going to lay out my tutu, my stop, and my pansy. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of pansy. Whoops. We're going to do the big brush for this, and I'm just going to start pushing it on in, working my way down. That does give a nice blend, you guys. Really, I like the effect on that one. Probably the best so far. Now we're going to do stop. See, this like lets you rub out the color a little bit better, I think. You know, like when I was using the sponge tip, when I went in there too hard, it was like, okay, you're done. That was it. It's staying there. You can't rub that out. And this to me feels like it's blending better. Like it's just blending that color out, which is what you want, you know? All right, let's do the purple. Okay, I love this. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I was really trying to be impartial. I actually was pulling for the stencil brushes. I was really hoping that I was going to like totally tear this theory apart with these and be like, they're not any good. They're just a hoax. You guys are just, it's just a trend. Move along. But they're really, I like it. I do. I like the blending brushes. Oh, I didn't mean for that to happen. All right, now we're going to put our butterfly on, and we're going to use stop and that purple again, and then we'll go back through and look at our pictures, okay? But I'm telling you right now, the way these are handling is really nice. I do like these brushes for detail with the stencil. I thought that that was really nice. It worked really well. So there's that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just put this one down first. I'm gonna move it a little bit higher up here because it is a red. And we're just gonna blend. Oh, wow. This blends nicely. Oh, you guys. This is what I get for being impartial, for coming in and not practicing before. I surprised myself on screen. Look at that. That is a beautiful background. That's like epically awesome. Okay, and then we're gonna do this one. All right, let's pick it up. Just lining up the stencil is a little bit of a trick. I didn't have it on there straight to begin with. And I'm going to start in the little butterfly body. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just blend it on out. Oh, this is really nice. I don't think I realized how nice it was until I got to play with all three of them, kind of, you know, at in a little bit of a showdown. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. I hate to say it. I really do, you guys. I really hate to say it, but for the win. For the win. I'm sorry, for the win. I love these. Like, I can see these in my craft room. I'm going to use them. They're great with stencils, and I think the detail work on a stencil is going to be wonderful. But let's just recap here. Let's go back, okay? So, oh boy, I wasn't expecting this. All right, the blending brushes, the stencil brush, blending brush, stencil brush, and then the sponge. All right, so it just, I don't know what to tell you. You just saw me in action, and that's what you get. I mean, maybe they would work different with ink pads, but yeah. So that's the difference within the brushes. And now I know everybody is going, oh my God, these are awesome, because they freaking are awesome. Oh, I wasn't even trying. Okay. All right. I'm going to just stand here and be in awe and let you guys get on with your day. I want to thank you for joining me. Please share this video with anybody who is struggling with knowing which brushes to get so they can see them in action with a liquid ink. And please, you know, if you have these, this totally works. I mean, that did work. So don't necessarily, you know, get rid of them or think you have to have the latest and greatest. You could totally make that work. That's very pretty. All of these work. They really do. It just is, what kind of look are you going for? Oh my goodness. If you have any questions or comments or want to make fun of me for not knowing what I'm doing on this one, yeah, go ahead, leave that down below. I got a thick skin. Yeah, do that for me, okay? Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you're at least slightly amused. That'd be awesome too. Yeah, I'm in awe, you guys. I really wasn't expecting this. Until next time, happy crafting.